Three-term member of parliament and somebody who's an insider very much so in the Congress party, Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi is joining us. Not a very great day, completely decimated in Punjab, down to just about 18 seats, just 2 seats in Uttar Pradesh, and even in states like Goa and Uttarakhand where you thought that the Congress maybe stood a chance because of anti-incumbency, completely rejected. I don't want to get stuck in cliches, Dr. Singhvi, but surely what has gone wrong? This is almost now, like my colleague said a moment ago, a fight for survival, a fight for very existence for the Congress party.
Zakka, thank you for having me. And let me tell you that apart from you giving me some brownie points for being out, I was in 2004 in the evening out at National Stadium on a program by a channel. And the only person out on that day was Pramod Mahajan. And I thought that was a very good gesture. Nobody else of the BJP had come out. And I think it is important to be able to be candid. And I had given you a prior commitment. But let me tell you very quickly and briefly, I have been on candid camera on television beforehand, before the exit polls, saying how I was sad that Congress was sliding in Punjab. And the sliding was due to 2 reasons, according to me. I'm not talking only Punjab. One, clearly the leveraging to their advantage properly by AAP of a novelty factor without baggage. People have tried SAD, people have tried Congress, and therefore they wanted to try something new. But along with that, what contributed, unfortunately, was a certain amount of static from within our party. Totally unnecessary. Speaking to the press, what I call in Hindi, the appropriate word is chick. The voter doesn't want to be troubled with that feeling of chick. But what, according to me, is the real shocker of today's election, because till today morning, despite the Punjab slide, which I accepted publicly prior to the exit polls, I was confident till today, 9:30, on camera again, of Uttarakhand and Goa. And both of them are the real shockers to me. Uttarakhand, a generally cyclical state, to repeat its incumbency with the margin it does, is very, very disappointing for the Congress, deeply so. And Goa, in a very small state, the margin is again very sad against the Congress. What can I say? I can only say 2 things. One, obviously we need, I don't want to use cliches like introspection, but we do need rewiring, reconfiguration from the bottom and onwards. But let me tell you, it is always comes back to the leadership. The leadership has never hesitated to face the bullet, bite the bullet, face it in front. They are never escaping. They are owning up to everything. But we need that rewiring, of course, in the elections scheduled for August.
No, but let's talk about that leadership,
from the block level
Dr. Singhvi. Let's talk about that
leadership,
because that is the elephant in the room for all practical purposes. Because whatever you say, bottom-up, rewiring, reconfiguration, it can only happen if someone at the top is directing that. But unfortunately, on the one hand, you have the question of accountability. How long can you allow the same leadership to go on losing election after election after election? And more importantly, there's no inspiration. People of this country are not inspired at all by the current leadership. So let's confront that elephant in the room.
Give you a candid answer. Not only is that being done, it is being directly confronted. In August, I'm quite confident we'll finish the election. You tell me one thing, Zakka. In that election, I repeat, anyone, including you and me, are entitled to stand. And anyone can be elected if you work for it from now to then. But tell me, if somebody out of the existing leadership or related thereto is re-elected by a clear majority, and the usual no-sayers and naysayers will say there is this rigging or that rigging, that is ridiculous, absolutely. Then on what electoral or democratic basis do you negate that by saying you must impose someone through a television channel discussion or conversation between you and me? So this is the intra-party election we must have, we will have, we should have, but thereafter, at least that top level thing has to settle down irrespective of whoever is there on the top. Second, that does not mean that we do not have to do it at every level, and we have to do it certainly with the leadership on the top, directing that revamp, reconfiguration, rewiring, and rethinking, and relearning.
All right, Dr. Singhvi, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming out. Many Congress spokespersons have refused to come today, and it's understandable. I mean, the losing side does not want to be coming on television debates on a day like this. But I think he has a point, and if Rashid is there, it's worth asking if the Congress Party is going to have intra-party elections in August, and chances are Rahul Gandhi will win because they have support within the party. How disconnected would that make the Congress, organization from the reality of the country?
And they haven't settled debates in any of the states, Zakka.
Exactly.
They've let it linger.
Yes.
And
my point is, if there is a leadership crisis, you would get down to sorting it, right?
Yeah.
It was 2013, 2012. When Delhi happened, didn't they think about it? 2012 happened, 2014 happened, then 2016, 2017, 2019.
And if Sonia Gandhi is the Congress president, then she should be the Congress president, being announced as one.